All right, new video. And wouldn't you know it, I recorded like half of this thing before realizing that I wasn't actually getting the video audio recorded. So I'm gonna do it over again. All right. Uh, if you say pre-watched, yeah, it was half pre-watched. And actually, I did listen to this in the background before, but you know what? I'm here. I've already committed to it. Let's do this one. Asmongold talking about what's his name? Is it Spencer Pratt?
So this is a new thing that he did? Let me see
All
this.
right.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I had to take a minute to run for mayor. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Oh my god.
In West Los Angeles, Palisades, my backyard is where I spent most of my days. Feeding hummingbirds, relaxing all cool, avoiding all the
nice.
bums outside of the school. When a couple politicians who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood, I got in one little fire, my mom got scared and said, "You're moving in with Harvey Levin in Bel Air."
Is this the first?
The first parody, probably
Oh god.
in recent history anyway.
Wow.
I pulled out from my lot about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the rubble, "Yo ho, smell you later." I moved to my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel Air.
Man. This guy, by the way, I have to show you guys this. It's so good. Can I find the interview that they did with this guy? No, that's just... What the fuck, bro? Like, god damn, that's a caveman. Okay,
You guys ready for
Is this it? Let me see if I...
B tier Snoop Dogg?
50,000 employees of the
D
city of
tier
Los
Snoop Dogg.
Angeles here, who had none.
Snoop Dogg stunt double.
No, this isn't it. I want to see...
Made it seem
Mayor Bass
Yeah,
burned
watch this. This is crazy.
the campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial, but you're at the Hotel Bel Air. So kind of undo that for us.
Wait, no,
No,
bargain
to be
market
clear,
Snoop Dogg.
that is where, excuse me, that is where I live. That's where Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, burned down my house. That is where I will live until I have a new house. The Airstream is a temporary facility.
Poopy Snoopy?
A hotel is a temporary facility. Where my kids are in Santa Barbara right now is a temporary housing. This is where I live as this,
Yeah,
this is where they
sucks.
burned my house down.
Man, I know someone who lives in LA, like just I don't know, maybe like a 5 or 10 minute drive from downtown, like north of it, like over by I'm not gonna say, but man, he told me how like after the fires there would be like a layer of ash on the ground, and he was like, yeah, I'll probably end up getting cancer in like 20 or 30 years from all the smoke. And he likes to joke about that kind of stuff, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. Like the smoke wasn't around for that long, hopefully. I don't know. At least I'm hoping it wasn't, but it's not good. And it's not only the dust that you see on the ground that's in the air. That's just the stuff that's heavy enough to fall and settle on the ground. I bet there was so much in the air, and who knows what you were breathing in. But like all those houses, you know, all the chemicals and toxic stuff that goes into construction these days. Just the insulation alone and the paint. And then you have to think about all the plastics and other chemicals in like all the appliances and electronics. I'm sure there's other stuff, but man, I feel sorry for the people over there. I wonder how the people who voted, it's Karen Bass, right? Karen Bass. Mayor of Los Angeles. Yep, Mayor Karen Bass. Wait, hold up. There you go. Mayor Karen Bass. I wonder how they're feeling about having voted her in. Like, do they feel betrayed, or do they feel stupid? I wonder.
So this semantic.
So they were playing games with him, and he said, "Fuck you, I'll call in and explain it myself."
So the nuance of this is the consequences of their failed leadership. And again, I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. They burned it down. That is why I got into this race, because of these people that will burn your house down
hope he wins.
and act like it's no problem. So this idea that anyone's like, oh, he's at a hotel. I'm at a hotel because these psychopaths are messaging me every day. They're going to kill me because Nithya Raman is calling me a fascist because I don't want people to have their kids next to drug addicts at the park or stepping in human poop when you get your matcha. I have common sense. That's not fascism. So these
I really like this guy. I gotta tell you, I really like this guy.
psychos here, I'm a fascist, and then they literally.
I hope he runs
If
a
you
good
like
campaign.
to see the death threats, I can send them all offline where people are like, I'm going to hire people to kill you. So yes, unfortunately, now I have a security team, and they will not, even if I wanted
money,
to stay
more
in the
expensive.
Airstream, would let me because there's
expenses.
360
It's a security risk.
unobstructed views since there's no houses.
Yeah.
What
So you
happened
can
to the
literally
houses?
snipe me out from any part from 300
Yeah,
yards
duh.
away easily.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's played like a first-person shooter like Call of Duty, you know not to be out in the open, otherwise you are going to get sniped. That FPS 101.
Spencer,
And not
can
to
no,
mention,
I
one sec. Not to mention the Airstream, it took over a month for LADWP to connect a wire for electricity to it, which
Wait,
was
what?
3 days ago. It took
There's no electricity for a month?
Oh, if I
weeks
switch
to
tabs,
get the water
it
hooked up,
acts up. Okay.
which was yesterday.
I'm
So
gonna
for
switch
these
tabs.
people that want to focus on where I sleep at night, first off, I don't even sleep. I get 4 hours of sleep because I'm fighting these corrupt freaking politicians all day long. You want to see my phone hours? I'll screenshot it. It probably says
Spencer,
19 hours.
I hear what you're saying, and
Yeah,
on the symbolism of your ad that because of the fire that you don't have a home, and I get that, but there's something to the point where you say in the ad, "This is where I live," while you're standing.
I'm just thinking Blend W. I think it was Blend W, where they shopped Snoop Dogg over. The heck is that anime game? You know what I'm talking about? I'll pull it up later.
In front of a trailer. I think the reason that ad was so effective with voters is because you did draw this visual comparison of where the mayor lives, where Nithya Raman lives, and where you
Isn't this crazy? Wow.
live. So you're showing where they live, and then you're saying, this is where I live. Everyone saw that ad and thought, wow, Spencer Pratt has to live in that trailer because his house burned down.
I do, sir.
But
that
then
is my house. That
for
is
the
my
last
house.
month and a half, you've been at the
the
Bel
last-
Air Hotel.
I haven't been at the Bel Air
Why are
Hotel.
they
Do you see what
Why
they
are they trying to
do?
defend
They
their
call
position?
this guy a fascist. He gets 1 million death threats. Then he can't live in the trailer that he was in before because now, they could shoot him in the trailer. He has to live in a hotel. They're playing a story as if he's lying about this because, by the way, he wouldn't be living in the trailer
That's
or
the
the
media.
hotel if his house wasn't burned down.
That's the media. I hate them.
This is it. So it's like this. So this is the kind of TMC is so out of touch.
Every time Asman or Nux says you don't hate the media enough, I have to agree. You hate him for a while and then you forget and just stop thinking about him. Could use a reminder, just don't forget to hate the media today. Here's your daily reminder to hate the media. But I don't have time for that. I don't have time to be hating people all the time.
It is simply it's Trump is, I don't agree with Trump about a lot of things, right? But he's right about the news.
Oh yeah,
he is.
Fake news.
He's right about the news.
Fake
For more than 6 days in the last month. This is all public.
Right, but
things.
that's where you've been staying. I know you may not have actually been in it.
No, I've been in Santa Barbara, where the LA Times reported where I lived and doxed me. That is where I live. Period. This is LA Times. This isn't breaking news. Even when the Airstream ad came out, the LA Times cover story is saying, no, Spencer Pratt lives in Santa Barbara. And I said, yes, thank you for doxing me. I tried to sue the LA Times for saying where I actually live.
But did you?
That's crazy. It's crazy they're going this hard on this guy.
Well, because he's bringing a lot of good, bad lots of good points to negative situations, and the news media wants to hide it and cover it up. That's why they always play these stupid framing games. They don't like that he's talking about it. So that's the meta, is just kill any guy on the right that's bringing light to things that make you look bad.
Oh my God. This is pissing me off. It's only halfway over.
But are you saying you live in that trailer?
I don't.
These people are like
Don't
retarded.
live anywhere is what I'm saying. I don't have a house. They burned it down, Harvey. I don't have a house.
How stupid
But why
are
not
these
say
people?
that?
Are they stupid
you
or
mentioned that would be
malicious?
really effective. Why not say that in the ad?
Are they stupid or malicious? What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. I think it's a good 50-50. Or maybe 100-100. 100% stupid, 100% malicious. Nah. Look at the look on that guy's face. I'd put it at 50-50. They're just mediocre evil. They're mediocre evil, and that's the state of mainstream media.
Have a home. You texted me today. I have never told anyone I lived in it. And yet in the ad you say, this is where I live.
You can see in their face, they're just like, I'm struggling to understand what you're saying. Like, could you repeat it? Could you repeat it again? A second time, a third time. The trailer's your house, right? The trailer's your house.
This is my house. This is my property. There's nothing there, Harvey. It's dirt lot. I had to have it craned in to the lot. That's what people are. This is psycho. I only got on this live because I love you. But so last time I'm going to talk about this, because the reason I am running is because they burned down 7,000 houses.
Lesson learned, right? Never trust the media. They're never going to play fair. They're never going to be honest. They're just going to spin it to their benefit. They're not there to tell the truth. They are there to push an agenda. I hate them. You should hate them. We should all hate them and collectively boycott them and stop giving them any attention at all. They are not a valid form of information gathering. They are not useful to society. Just scrap them into the recycle bin, into the incinerator, wherever you want to put it. I do not listen to these people. The only time I ever hear someone speaking from a news company is when one of my boys is reacting to it, and the whole time, I'm boiling up inside and getting angry, and I'm never having a good time when these people open their mouths. So why don't we just all cut them out of our lives and effectively remove them from existence? They only matter if you give them attention. They only matter if they have reach, if they have influence. And if nobody listens to them, they may as well not exist. Like the old saying or whatever goes, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it. Wait, how did that go? You know what I'm talking about, though?
It's crazy that this douchebag reality TV star is just what they need. Like he just they can't get him.
He's a reality
They can't
TV
get
star?
him. They're trying to get him. You
I don't
can
know who
see
this
that
guy
they're
is.
trying to get him.
I have no idea who this
This
guy
is where
is.
everyone lives. They don't not consider that their home just because it's a dirt lot, because it's an Airstream, a teepee, a tent. When you're a fire victim, this is where you live. They burn it down. This is where I always will live.
You guys remember how what's his face Cuomo in New York brought what did he do? He basically put a bunch of homeless people in hotels, and then they destroyed it, right? Until the hotels become basically unusable, and then he would buy them up and turn it into public housing or something. I don't remember the specifics, but basically he was destroying a bunch of privately owned housing complexes, like destroying their business so they would have to sell off, and then he would come in and buy it up. I think they're doing the same. I think Karen Bass and whoever else is behind the management of Los Angeles is doing something similar, or was doing something similar. This was a while back already. But I feel like it was done intentional. Like you can see, like, you remember hearing how the firefighters wouldn't even have water? The fire hydrants would just be empty. Like, they couldn't even access water to put out the fires. And she also fired a bunch of firefighters, like not that far back.
People are missing the messaging of the consequences.
But Spencer, I get, listen, I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
And you're a really smart guy. And you are all over these ads, which
All right. All right. This battery might be toast, but it'll work long enough to charge my other one slightly. Oh yeah, what I was saying is people that were wanting to rebuild their houses were just being stonewalled. I mean, I don't know that anybody's been able to rebuild because they just don't let them. And I'm still surprised, like, what do you mean you're not going to let me rebuild? How does that even work? How are they preventing people from rebuilding? But somehow that doesn't even make sense to me. But that's what they're doing. So I think it's intentional. I think whether they intentionally let the place burn down, which is a possibility, or if it was just it wasn't a natural disaster because it was some stupid communist activists that went and just committed arson and started these fires. So
have been, honestly, they've been lauded by people who...
I also have to say, too, like, think about the fact that Spencer Pratt is using all these AI ads and nobody's complaining.
Oh, so it was AI? Okay, all right, that fair.
Think about that. Like, we don't really talk about this, right? But, like, he's using AI ads constantly now, and nobody's getting upset about it. Nobody's angry. And the reason why is because it's normal. It's normal. That's it. I told y'all.
Said these are, brilliant ads.
480. Ooh.
What wasn't the point there? And I believe the trailer door was even open. Wasn't the point to telegraph to people that your body went inside that trailer night after night?
Right.
I mean, wasn't that the point of the ad?
I thought Asman
No, the
looked a little
point of the
fuzzy.
ad is to show this is where they burned my house down. I have no house. This is their
Man,
houses.
how many times does he have to
They're
say it?
fine, and this is where
These people
I
are
live. This
stupid.
is where my town lives. This is our reality for the next 10 years if we're lucky. That'll be there.
They're just like, oh, you mean you're living in the situation that is beneficial to our story, right? It's like, no, my house burned down, and they're like, oh, so what you're saying is, you're actually not homeless, right? It's like, no, my house burned down. But you mean what? So what you're trying to say is, you still have a place to live. You're not homeless. And he just keeps having to tell him, my house burned down. These people are double-digit IQ. Double-digit IQ. I told you. D tier, soy boy, Poopy Snoopy, and his what's-his-face looking buddy, bargain market, Chuck Norris.
For the
You
next
don't wanna
6
adopt him?
years,
Yep.
and I'll say I live there. I live in the Palisades. I'm a registered.
This is why, like, this type of behavior is why it frustrates me so much that a lot of Republicans are not willing to
Concede.
take the low road.
No.
This is it. I get very frustrated because, like, I think that you could get so much done if you're willing to just do what you need to do.
I think at one point that's what we're going to get, because that's kind of what's needed. Democrats aren't moving in the right direction. They're kind of doubling down and like digging further into the ground. They don't feel remorse for what they're doing. They just continue pushing further to the left to the point where, yeah, Democrats are leaving, like Democrat voters are leaving the Democrat voter base. They're not learning.
But they refuse to do that. It's very frustrating.
I think you have to fight fire with fire sometimes. And people that were concerned about, oh, here's a Civil War 2.0, and they kept saying that for years, ever since the first time Trump got elected. It was, well, what the heck was it? Civil War II, Electric Boogaloo. What did Tim Pool call it? He had some catchy name for it, but he was always talking about Civil War. This is the start of the Civil War. When you look back and you read in the history books, they never say, oh, the Civil War started on this day. It was more like this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and then when you zoom out, then you can see that the war happened during this period, but things don't happen like back to back to back. Like, yeah, but we're not in Civil War territory. This is just an increase in chaos.
Voter to that address. This is,
And
I'm a
stupidity,
Angelino. Even if my
The GOP
family and
isn't
kids
taking
have
the
to
low
now
road?
go to school in
The
Santa
GOP is not taking the low road.
GOP is too soft. We need people that are more aligned with Trump than the traditional conservative party. Like the old school Republicans, they are too soft. We need people that are willing to get their hands dirty a little bit. Not in like doing the wrong things or like playing the bad guy to get the desired outcome. More like you have to not worry about being polite and following the rules to the T. Like if something has to get done, you just have to find a way to get it done, even if it means like going around the rules a little bit or finding loopholes or changing the rules. Heck, you see what the Democrats did with mail-in voting. They changed the rules so that they could get all those fake mail-in ballots. If you change the rules, then you're not breaking the law.
Not as low as I want them to go. Not where I want them to do. I'll tell you that. Not even close.
Barbara, I am Angelino. This is my town. This is where they burn me down. So I am on set with these lovely people at Interview Magazine, and
Still
I can't be just
lovely people.
ranting all day.
Sure
But I
you can.
appreciate you. People can be all caught up in the nuance of where I live or where I don't. I'm running for mayor because these people will burn your house
But
down,
the nuance,
cover it up.
Spencer,
Period.
the
Yeah.
nuance,
He can't do worse than Karen Bass, right?
nuance is you being truthful to vote with voters.
I'm
That's
going to
the
say it
nuance.
again. I'm going to say it again. That is where I live. Period.
Okay.
Period. I don't
They-
need to
they
sleep
are
there every
so
night.
stubborn.
I don't need to go to the number 2 on that toilet. That is where I live. I'm from the Palisades, Los Angeles, and I'm fighting for Los Angeles. So
Okay, but
all
just
this,
one final
period.
thing.
But-
One
but-
final
but
thing.
you're not
Just
homeless,
to
right?
clarify, you have never physically lived in that trailer.
To
still
clarify,
going
I
at
haven't
it.
lived anywhere
They're
since
still
my house
trying.
burned down.
Well, you're
I'm a
sleeping.
temporary-
You're sleeping somewhere.
See what I mean?
These
For
are-
those 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
Again, I don't live anywhere.
Bargain
they burn
market
my
Chuck
house
Norris
down, to be
and-
clear. So
Soy
I love
boy
you guys. You can,
cucked out
All right.
Poopy Snoop.
what we should be doing on TMZ is talking about the drug addicts that we spend $500 million that live on our sidewalk going number 2. This is great that this is the focus, but that's the reality. And if people care about this,
He's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good at
To be
dealing
able to
with
just
these
keep-
people. This is crazy.
I would not have the patience. I would
right
not
now
have the
we're
patience.
in so much trouble, and I'm going to do my best to try to save LA. But if people
Well,
don't get out and vote because
I guess he does have to like say he has to. He can't just like lash out at them, right? Because if he's actually going to try and run for mayor, he has to maintain composure. Like, I understand that. If he wasn't running for mayor, then I would be surprised and a bit confused as to why he's not just lashing out at them and calling them names and dropping F-bombs and calling them retarded and whatever else comes to mind, because these people are insufferable. Completely.
they want to feel safe, and that's what I'm fighting for people to feel safe and their tax money to literally go to making us safe and the people to get housed and people not to die on the street.
Yeah, get the homeless people off the street, one way or the other. I mean, it's just a blight on the city. When you walk around and there's tent cities and just giant homeless encampments, they're just doing drugs and stuff out in public. They don't have, like, as far as I'm aware, there's no like outhouses stationed periodically. They just go wherever they have to. And it's not, I mean, I don't know what else to say about that.
That's the message. So this does not matter. That is where I live, period. And I'll live in LA as long as I have that dirt
These
lot.
people are so dense.
The Airstream is imaginary to me. I live in that dirt, in my ashes. That's what I fight for. So I love you guys. Keep posting me. Please use better photos. God bless you.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Have a great day.
Way too much patience.
Jesus, bro.
But you got to play it. Sometimes you have to play it up a little bit when you're in politics. But I prefer the Trump approach, to just call him out. Like, maybe not go 100%, like pull your punches a bit, but call them out to their face. Man, I love when people call these people out to their face. It's just satisfying.
I really like, I mean, that's really, this is the ad, by the way.
he's
They're
still
so
able to smile.
disingenuous. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he mogged them. He did.
Yeah.
He absolutely fucking bulldozed them, completely mogged them. Oh my God.
Well, it wasn't entirely what I was expecting to cover today. It was really just a waste of time, so I might not upload this. I might upload it just so that I stop deleting all the videos I record. It's good practice for actual content. You know, I gotta work on my speaking skills and OBS skills and stuff like that. So I might upload it. I mean, it's a safer time to upload when I actually don't have any viewers. I don't know what percentage of people actually go back and watch older content from content creators. That's something I do. I don't go back too far. But when I run out of current videos, I start rolling the calendar backwards and seeing what content they have in previous uploads. I cannot English.